Hey gang, welcome back to the channel. If you've been watching our bathroom remodel series, I made a comment about my really organized garage. Well, this is it. I'm sorry to say. So I was kidding. And our goal right now is to organize this because we have a lot of DIY projects we want to do for you on YouTube. We've already done the bed, which is our most popular video, and we built some plant stands, and we have a lot more planned. We just don't have anywhere to work. We need to be inside. And
good lighting,
all that stuff,
out of the elements.
Yep. So this garage has 10-foot ceilings, and we're going to take advantage of that height. So behind Jordan, we already built the shelves, and they're super innovative, I think, especially the way we hung them from the ceilings, and you have complete access in the front. In other words, there's no supports blocking you from putting stuff on those shelves. They weren't very expensive either. Common materials from the home center, and super strong. So before we tackle all this and start to organize, let us show you how we built these things. All right, gang, we found this random garage that we're going to work in. It rains a lot here where we live, and we have a hurricane bearing down on us, so we're going to work outside, but if we have to, we can come in this garage and finish it. But in all seriousness, the reason we're doing this whole project is to have room in our garage to do projects like this. So let's get started. Let's walk over here, and I'll show you the materials. So we're going to build 4 shelves. Each one is 2 foot wide, 8 feet long. So we're going to use OSB for the shelf itself. We're going to rip them right down the middle. And I bought 14 8-foot premium studs. Premium, I guess they sort them a little better. These are straight. So while I'm cutting this, Jordan's going to pick out the 8 best ones, and we'll show you why it's 8. So 14 studs, that leaves us 2 extra. Each shelf is going to need 3. We'll show you that also. We've got the complete Spax screw collection here. The 1.5 will be used to attach the USB to the 2x4 frame. The 3-inch construction screws will be used to attach the 2x4s to each other. And over here, this is their structural line. We're going to use these to attach the shelves to our garage walls. We're going to hang it using threaded rod. We're going to show you some tricks on working with threaded rod. Threaded rod holds up the world. A lot of people don't know it, but in all your commercial buildings, this is what's holding everything up above the ceiling.
For a good price.
Yep. Very reasonable. And then we're going to paint ours, just a flat black. So all this was like
270?
70.
Just about.
So if you want to go cheaper, you can obviously not paint it, and you can go cheaper on the studs. Probably get studs for what, $2 something,
yeah,
$3 each.
And if you wanted to paint it, you could also buy spray paint.
Yeah,
you can spray paint it.
Just spray paint.
Yeah,
I've seen people do it.
Right.
All right, so let's throw these 2 pieces of OSB on our setup out there and rip them in half. All right, we're going to rip these 2 pieces of 1/2-inch OSB in one pass with our track saw. If you don't have a track saw, you can use a circular saw with an aftermarket guide. There's all kind of ways to cut this in half. If you don't even have that, the good folks at your home center will do it for you. So what is the halfway point on a piece of 48-inch wide plywood?
You would think 24 inches.
You would think, but we're going to account for the kerf of the blade. Now these are garage shelves. Does it matter? No. But we're going to make it matter. So we set up the edge of our splinter strip 24 and 1/16 from that edge. And if we subtract the 1/8-inch kerf, I know it's metric, but it's close enough to an 1/8, then this piece will end up at 23 and 15/16, and so will this one. So let's rip it in half.
Let's go.
Catch that? All right, gang, we're ready to start cutting our 2x4s. We just left our plywood on here. That's going to be our work table for now. And then we set up the right-hand wing on our saw with a stop block at 21 inches. We need 16 21-inch blocks, 4 blocks for each shelf. So I'm going to feed these to Jordan, and he's just going to crank these out real fast. You ready?
Yep.
All right. All right, here's our 16 21-inch pieces. That was really fast with a little block, no measuring involved, and they're all exactly the same. And these 4 pieces, that's all the waste we're going to have from this whole project. So we'll use these for something creative. Stay tuned. So why don't we clear this off, Jordan, and we'll build our shelves right on here. That's our next step.
Let's go.
All right, gang. We're going to pre-drill for our holes for a couple of reasons. Sometimes these screws are hard to start, and they do this, and the bit comes out and all that. So pre-drilling is going to help us start them, and then pre-drilling is going to help us at the end from preventing it splitting. So each board gets 8 holes. 8 times 8 is 64 holes we got to drill. Now, we didn't want to drill all the way through into our nice shelves that we're using here as our work table. So we just put a piece of tape at 1 inch. That's all we need to get the screws started. So I'm going to use my speed square, lay out the holes, and Jordan's going to drill. We're going 3/4 from each end. Here, let's just do this one and show them. I'm going to do that, and then that, and that. So see the mark I wrote on the speed square to help me? Because we don't have much light out here. And that'll make it fast for me. And then Jordan's just going to come behind me and drill all those. And we split this into 4ths. So we have a mark at 32, a mark at 64, because they're 96 long. You ready to start drilling?
Born ready.
All right, this won't take long. All right, we have the bottom assembled, or the frame assembled. And again, we're using the shelf as a work platform, and that's what the shelf's gonna look like, basically upside down.
Correct.
So I'm gonna align these for Jordan, and he's gonna drive the screws, and these are gonna go together super quick. I mean, it took what, 3 or 4 minutes to drill all these, and it's gonna pay off right now.
Yes, sir.
Let's get it done. All right, that went really quickly. What, 8 minutes?
Yeah,
10
just
minutes?
about.
Look how nice these look. I was trying those that flange head, I call it, instead of the flat head. Those don't pull in as much. It's a nice look. All right, next step: attach the plywood or the OSB to the frames. Let's do it. All right, we're doing the rough side up on the OSB, but you could do the smooth side if you wanted, whatever you want.
We're doing the rough side up for more grip for the object sitting on it.
Yep.
And smooth side might look better towards the bottom, but it
That way
really
the
doesn't
cats
matter.
won't fall off.
Right.
And then we're just going to use this spacing for these screws for the spacing for these screws. And we're not going to pre-drill.
Right.
And then one thing we've been meaning to say is another way you can save money, just nail this with some framing nails. That'd be fine. Plenty strong enough.
Sure.
All right, let's put that on.
Times 4.
Times 4. And then we'll be ready to paint. Here's our 4 shelves ready to go. That wasn't bad at all. It was a lot faster than I thought it would be. So we're gonna set up our airless in the backyard, and then we'll bring you back after that to show you how we're gonna paint them. All right, gang, this is our setup. The sun's going down, so we're gonna do this really fast. I'm gonna spray. Jordan's gonna watch my paint. When that gets low, you've got a standby gallon right here. And I'm just gonna get to it. I forgot my respirator at the other job. Let me get a dust mask there. At least that's something.
All right.
Hey gang, it's a couple days later. We're in our garage about to put up our shelves. It's approaching 8 o'clock. Hurricane Laura's down the coast, about to hit the Louisiana, Texas shoreline. But we're working in the garage. We're going to try to organize this mess, which I'm kind of ashamed of. Typically for me, you know, I unload from one job, throw it in the garage, get what I need, and go to the next one. And I spend a lot of time looking for stuff. So instead of trying to do the whole garage as one big project, we're going to take it in little bites. And this is our first bite, is putting up these shelves.
Could be a new series that we do.
Could be. So let me show you what we did up here. We've already got our laser line set up, and that will be the bottom of our shelf. And we just went 24 inches down from the ceiling. Remember, now this is a 10-foot ceiling here. And then we're probably going to put the second one 2 feet below that. All right, the first step is to find our studs. So you've already seen us use our rare earth magnets. These are 1/8 by 3/4 inch diameter rare earth magnets. I get these from Lee Valley Tools. And oh, I got lucky. So see that? There's a drywall screw. So there's a stud. So I'm going to mark it. And then I want to be sure that our structural screws go in the middle of the stud. So my next step is I have this drill bit in my drill, and I use it just for this purpose. That's a little bigger than a 1/16. See, I hit a stud, I hit wood there. That one I didn't. So I know the edge of the stud is between those holes.
And why is it important that you go into the middle of the stud?
I want the maximum strength on this application. Like if I'm hanging a TV on a wall, I make sure those screws are in the middle of the stud. I don't want to be at the edge of a stud. So we have a couple more studs to find. So let's go ahead and finish that, and we'll show you the next step. So now that we found the center of our studs, we're going to put this block up here, right on our laser, just like this. And that's going to support the shelf for us while we attach the shelf to the wall. So let's put one more over here, and then we're ready to put this shelf up.
So I just got to kind of overhead lift it, huh?
Just come straight up to me.
Okay.
And then you can start going up the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
Put it on the block.
Yep.
Hey.
Cool. Dig, there it is.
All right, gang, we've got our second set of blocks put up on this wall. You can see how the two shelves are going to form a 90. You can see how easy that made it for us to just rest it on there and screw it off.
Absolutely. Hey, what's that pencil line right there?
This?
Yeah.
So I hung something up there. Oh, the car ramps were there. And even the car ramps are level. Yes, that's right. So I did that with a level and a pencil. That's all. Oh, I almost said my name.
They don't know. They don't know your name.
I don't think they do. Some people have asked.
The mystery man.
Maybe at 20K.
Oh yeah, 20K name reveal?
Subscribers, yeah, we'll do a name reveal.
Okay.
Yeah, and up here you can see I popped the chalk line when I put up those lights. So the laser just helps so much.
Of course.
All right, let's throw this thing up here.
Let's do it. All right. Just walk it back.
Piece of cake, right?
Yep.
All right.
Gotta slide it over. Nice. Oh, sorry. Hey,
All
nice.
right. Yep. So those 3-inch screws have these two attached here. Now remember, the only thing that's holding these up right now are these, what are those?
4 inches.
4-inch structural screws.
Only 3 of them.
Right. Into the back of each one. And they're pretty strong, but we're going to make it even stronger. So let's take these blocks down. We're going to throw you into a time lapse, and we're going to put up the other two. And then we're going to show you how we're going to support these outside corners and make it super strong. It's something I've used in the past. We've never seen it on YouTube. It's some really cool hardware that you can apply to many, many things, and it's super strong. So let's get to it. And if you're liking the video, like the video, and be sure you subscribe for us. We really appreciate that. So let's hang these shelves. right, gang. We got these installed. They're super strong, but these corners need a little support. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this eye bolt. We're gonna send it through this 2x4 right here. We've already got our laser set up. So we're perfectly plumb there. We'll put an eye bolt here on the top one, and then on those two. Once the eye bolts are in, we're gonna hang them with threaded rod from the ceiling. But first, let me take you through this eye bolt. So this is a 3/8 diameter, 16 threads per inch, and the shank is 2.5 inches long. And then the eye was 3/4, so I ordered these 3/8 by 3/4 spacers. This is all from McMaster Car, mcmaster.com. Again, my favorite website. And then we're going to capture that spacer in there with these 3/8 by 1 1/4 fender washers. And there'll be a nut on the top and the bottom. So let's get all these eye bolts installed first. There's only 4, and then we'll show you the next step. So let's do it. Now here's the setup, gang. Got the eye bolt, 2 fender washers, and I just happen to have these. It's a serrated flange lock nut, so I'm going to use them. You put a fender washer on the outside so the eye bolt doesn't dig through. See how nice and clean that looks? And going old school with the wrench. Well, I can't find my socket set because this garage is a wreck. All right, let's put our spacers in there.
Cool.
Now, here's our threaded rod. It's going to go through each eye bolt, right up to the ceiling, just like that.
Hey, that's nice.
Yep. And so, a nut and a washer on both sides will capture that. Won't go up, won't go down. So now we have to attach the threaded rod to the ceiling. So that's our next step. Let's show you how we're going to do it. Is this overkill? This is going to be a nice garage.
Yeah, right.
We can't skimp on the details.
Right.
All right, guys, now we want to show you how we're going to attach this to the ceiling. So we put our threaded rod through both of our eye bolts, and we're just going to mark the ceiling right there. Take this out, and we already determined that our joists are 19 inches apart on center, and we've got our 2 bolts in 19 inches apart on our 24-inch long piece of wood. So this mark is the center of the threaded rod. I came over 1 3/4 inches, which is half the width of a 2x4. And then I use my drywall square to mark a line that is square to this wall. So now, all we have to do is line that edge up on that line, and then see that mark? That's the center of that joist. So this screw will go in the center of that joist, and that one's already lined up.
Yep.
All right, let's put these up. We got our board up. I put the threaded rod back in the eye bolts, and then this is where we need to attach it. Right there. And this is what we're going to use. It's made just for this purpose. It's a threaded rod hanger. See that?
It's clean.
So we're going to drive this into the 2x4 with a socket, and then screw that threaded rod in there. And we'll talk a little bit more about these when we're done. That's a great piece of hardware. There we go.
Nice.
All right, now the fun part. We get to put all these nuts and washers on that threaded rod. All right, so here's what it's going to look like right here. But we have to spin the threaded rod all the way up to the ceiling and do the same thing at the upper eye bolt. So to make it go faster, we put our drill on the bottom here.
Yeah.
And we're just going to zip it right up there. So
Right.
let me get on this side, Jordan.
I'll man the drill.
And I'll hold these. All right, go. Sweet. All right, you're in.
All right.
Cool. That wasn't too bad.
Huh.
I think I'll put a pair of ice grips on there and just really lock it down.
Okay.
All right, gang. We used our level to get them level. We just adjusted it with the bottom or the top nut as needed. Now that it's perfect, we're going to tighten these against each other. We're going to tighten these against each other. we're going to tighten these against each other to lock it in place.
Woo.
Let me do the top one. So you may have noticed we put this on the side. You could easily put it on the front as well. We just wanted to be able to pull things on and off the shelf and use the full width of our shelves without having something right here. So that does it for this side.
That's a setup, huh?
Yep. And I'm telling you, that does not move at all.
Almost like we could hop up there for a thumbnail.
Yeah, you could lay on one and I could lay on one, we'd be fine.
All right.
So let's go do the other one and then we'll cut these off.
Sounds good.
All right, gang, this side is finished. It looks great. It's super strong, but let's cut off this threaded rod right here. You messed up the paint job.
Oh my gosh. Start over.
Fire that guy. All right, we got all the decorations on top of our new shelves. It was so easy sliding them up there without a support brace in the front.
Yes, it was.
We loved it. So the next step is to get everything off the floor that we can and put it on top of these file cabinets.
Alright guys, in that last clip that you saw, that night we had just got done installing these shelves. They turned out incredible. Everything is up there. We got the shelves out from the middle of the garage, up against the wall, a bunch of stuff up against the wall, out of the way on the floor. We're really excited with how it turned out. It turned out so well, in fact, that if you look over here, we decided to build 2 more, didn't we, Dad?
Yep.
We did 2 more shelves. That is actually 1 shelf, well 2 shelves, but this is 1 piece. This is a 15-footer, right?
Yep.
15-footer, 2x4, all 1 solid piece, painted black. We muscled it up, and you guys saw the process when we installed those anyway. It was the same exact process. And we were able to get all of that organized, labeled, and up on the shelf. We got some ovens over here. We're gonna make a really dope encasing for those with some quartz, right?
Yep.
That'll, you know, that's in the garage series that we're doing. But it turned out really well, huh, Dad? So we got all that up there. So what are we doing? What's the next phase?
So it took us. We built those in 2 hours, and painted them in 2 hours, right?
Oh yeah.
And painted in 2 hours. We hung them both in 1 hour and 50 minutes, and then we had that stuff up there in no time. So that was a good afternoon project.
It was.
And then remember, here, no basements in the south, and we have attics, but they're not conducive to storage. And some of this stuff, I wouldn't want to lift up there anyway.
Nope.
And so you saw on the video, you saw us put the drill on here to spin these nuts on there.
Right. Which can be a pain.
Yeah, it can be, but
it's a great system.
It is.
And you can level it that way as well.
They make this nut in case you forget, or in case you want to add something. It's a split lock nut. So it goes on the threaded rod like that. And then when you turn these with wrenches, and then you have a nut on there.
And the benefit of that is you can put it anywhere at any time and tighten it.
Right. So if we added a shelf here or something, I could put that on there and do that.
Boom.
Yep.
Downside is they're a little pricey.
They are. They are. But in a pinch, it'll save you.
Right.
Better than taking all this apart.
Cool.
That's called a slip-on twist close nut. About $5 each.
A little bit of a mouthful.
Yep.
Cool, man.
So do your planning and do it like this. And you see on this one, we didn't need that block up there.
Right.
That fitting way up there is into a ceiling joist.
And then you'll notice on these shelves, we put the rods hanging down in the front, whereas on these shelves, they're on the side. And it was low profile enough to where them being in the front really didn't make a difference. Right. It didn't matter as much.
You can do it that way or do it this way, and then there's no obstructions in the front.
Sure. That was a little bit of a butt kicker.
What's that?
Everything.
Yes.
A lot of work.
We work all day and then come home and work all night on this thing.
Right. So what's the next phase? I mean, that's phase 1, right?
Yep. So this is all the Believe it or not, that is all Christmas up there. Been married 30 years, have 4 kids. We have a lot of Christmas stuff. And then that's everything else. Fall, Easter,
Miscellaneous.
miscellaneous.
Sure.
So the next thing is, what's left on the floor is my tools and stuff. So what we're gonna do is build a huge workbench in the middle, probably on wheels so we can move it around, 4x8 with drawers underneath for to replace these old guys that I've had forever. And then storage also for all the power tools. And probably on this wall, we'll build a bench for a drill press, bandsaw, and more storage.
Absolutely.
Everything's off the floor. That's the goal.
Yeah, and it'll be cool to have a workbench. You said you wanted it to be 4x8, potentially.
Yep.
That way, we can do projects in here. Whenever we need to come, we can do instructional videos.
That's the whole point.
DIY projects, and that's why we're doing this, so we can create better content for the channel.
Yep. We're out of the weather. We got a nice view. We can open the doors. Got a fan in here. We got a fridge right
and
there.
an oven. Throw a turkey in there or
We
something.
got a microwave right there.
Right.
So we hope you like these. We love them. They're inexpensive, they're strong, and they're super useful. So if you liked them, be sure to smash that like button for us. Leave us a comment down below if this was helpful to you and maybe what you would do differently. And be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We would really appreciate that. We're coming up on what?
12,000.
12,000.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. We'll
Yeah.
see you on the next one.
We love all the support. See you guys later.
See ya.